The Ready or Not community has a concern. I addressed this concern in one of my more recent videos, and more content creators have also weighed in on the issue. The concern is that it has been almost a year since the last update of any kind to Ready or Not. This has led every player feeling a little out to dry. One viewer on my last video about Ron's update said, "As a supporter, it feels like I'm barely testing or supporting anything." As someone who also bought the supporter tier now years ago, I feel this pain. When everyone has the current version, I'm stuck feeling kind of gypped. Ready or Not's developers Void Interactive just posted a development update, and in it, they made what is, in my opinion, one of the more mature and understanding responses to community outcry from a game developer that we've seen in a while. In the first few paragraphs of the update, they expressed that they want to keep their focus on forward momentum rather than perpetual early access. This phrase hits hard to any Escape from Tarkov player. That game has been in early access since 2016 and is in a state that many would argue is pretty fleshed out, almost enough to be in its full release. Escape from Tarkov is in a position that is perpetual early access. I feel what's hard for players is when we don't know what the full version of the game is. With the images that we'll see later in this video, we get an idea of what the future could be, which creates an understanding of why the updates are the way they are. Maybe if we knew exactly what Escape from Tarkov was after, we would understand why it's not in full release, because it's nowhere near what they want it to be. The next section of the development update speaks on the state of the game and how the updates are interconnected and inseparable. They provide the example of the desert-style map Coyote that we've seen bits and pieces of for a long time. They state they would love to release the map, but if they did, then they would also have to release the updated user interface, the new sound system, the new SWAT AI overhauls, and more. The map is not in a cleanly separated group, and therefore it's hard to release as a standalone update. In addition, if they focused on making that a possibility, then the other aspects of the game would suffer as they spend time elsewhere. They even get down to the point that if they released it now, they would have to use stand-in characters instead of the characters that are being created for the Coyote mission, and they feel that would create a empty, hollow experience. Now, while I believe that this is a good reasoning as to why they're doing it the way they're doing it, I do see two sides in the example they gave. One side is the understanding side. This player understands that the game is driving toward a full release and image is becoming important. They need to release quality updates with as few bugs as possible. With more new players coming into the tactical gaming scene, and by extension Ready or Not specifically, first impressions are everything. When I play a fully released game like Grand Theft Auto or Call of Duty Modern Warfare back when I did that, I didn't really care what made the game tick or the path they took to the release. I just want a good game. The other side of this argument that I see is the supporter side, which I'm a part of. This player's been around since the conception or shortly thereafter of Ready or Not. They've seen it since the early days and have watched over it like a newborn. This player cares about the development and wants to be involved in the updates and wants to help carve out the game into its polished state. Later on in this update, Void Interactive says that they need changes to be quality assured before release, and I'm sure a lot of supporters out there feel that they should be the ones doing that quality assurance. I feel these players just want to be in on the ground floor. Now, on a positive note, inside scoop note, they do mention that they will be releasing a new customization system, a new weapon select system, station lobby, and audio tracks. They state that these changes are also tied into other portions of the game and therefore, unfortunately, can't be released yet. Now, in the update, they also released this wicked picture. Most of the current maps are small enough that this feature isn't really necessary. However, if they feel we may need this, then they may be branching out into larger and larger maps, which is also exciting. I also wonder what other features the system may have. Is it, a communication system? What else could it be? Let me know what you think about this. This is one of the more exciting images I've seen out of one of their development updates in a while. So toward the end of the update, Void Interactive says this: metaphorically, releasing incremental updates during this phase of the development cycle is like tearing down a house, rebuilding it halfway with improvised parts, furnishing it, and then tearing it down most of the way to rebuild the final, largely different house that we were working towards. Seeing images like the ATAC system and hearing them say things like a new weapon system, audio, user interface changes, character changes, makes me start to think that maybe the final release of Ready or Not is going to be a million miles away from what we have today. It may be a hard pill to swallow, but I'm starting to feel like I'm a parent that's having to let their kid go to college. We were there during the game's infancy. We were there with the big bugs, the janky movement, hot fixes, community backlash on their initial release, and now they're moving into making the full release of the game that we all want. Maybe it's time to understand that we're getting to the point where we have to take our hands off and let them run. So guys, a lot more was said in this update, and I'm going to have a link to the update down below. I want you guys to read through it and then come back to this comment section and let's talk about it. You know, the last video I did on Ready or Not's updates got a little bit heated in the comments of some people defending them, some people against them, and I want to have that conversation again now that we've heard back from Ready or Not, now that they've responded to the backlash. I want to have that conversation again. I feel like we might have different opinions, so meet me down there. I want to talk with you guys, and in the meantime, I hope you all have a fantastic day. If you like tactical games and you like tactical gameplay, then I think you found your home here in the Liberation Room, and we would love to have you. So, hope you subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.